Shout out to the two. Welcome back to the grill. We back again with another Fade podcast. What is episode? Week 4?
Week 3, week 4, something like that.
Week 3, week 4. We back with another one. Got some things to talk about. Got the fellas with us. Paige, what's going on with you, brother?
What's going on, man? You know what I'm saying? Football gods, always with us. You know, some people trying to sell us, but we'll get into that later. But I'm doing good, though, man. I'm doing good.
That's what's up. Got the homie Diamond here down. What's going on with you, man?
Nothing much, man. I'm chilling. Let's talk some football.
All right. So, Paige, what's the rundown today, man?
Man, we got a lot of stuff to talk about. It's some contract news that we actually missed since it happened while we was on break. So I figured we addressed that. But let's get into the biggest news of this past week. Earl Thomas, safety for the Ravens, former safety for the Ravens, ended up getting cut this past week for conduct detrimental to the team. So now he's a free agent. The biggest thing was he was in a fight with a teammate during training camp, which a lot of Ravens fans I know, cough, Jay Hamp, and some other people are saying it's not a big deal. These fights happen all the time in camp. But I said once it happened on Friday, on Saturday they didn't bring him back. They sent only him home on Friday, and that was one red flag. And then Saturday they didn't bring him back. I was like, yeah, this might be something more. And then Sunday they said he wasn't coming back, and then they made it official Sunday that he wasn't going to be part of the team. So with all that being said, kid, what is your thoughts on this whole Earl Thomas situation? He was only there for Baltimore, remember, for 1 year. He's only there for 1 year.
I mean, it's crazy. I mean, I definitely gave some thoughts on it. Actually, you know, when I made that vid, when I made the first time, when the whole Earl stuff came out, I said midway towards the end, I was like, you know what? I'm pretty sure when it's all said and done, he'll be back. They'll sweep it under the rug, and they'll move on. But as time was going on, they had him miss out another practice. I think what's really threw everything off was they sent him home. I don't think normally when training camp stuff, brawls happen, I don't think I've heard of a guy being sent home. So whatever really happened had to been deeper than him just hitting, them just fighting. Had to been, I don't know if something was said or what. Regardless, the Ravens had a short leash on Earl, and as you can see, it was like 2 days later. They ended up letting him go. They didn't even trade him. Like, that's how bad it is when you don't even get value back for that guy. You end up just releasing him. I think it reminds me of a situation where it's something that never really came out with the Packers, like maybe 3-4 years ago with Josh Sitton, where they went through training camp, they went through preseason, and then like a week before the season started, they let go of Josh Sitton. They didn't even trade him. So it just makes you think like, man, that's like they really did not want him around to the point where they couldn't get like some type of compensation for him. Now, I'm pretty sure it had something to do with the contract, if I'm not mistaken, why they didn't trade him. But they took a $22 million cap hit, letting him go. Like, that's just crazy, man. Am I surprised? I'm not necessarily surprised based off the stuff that's been coming out since he's been released. Somehow he's been late to practices and late to meetings. Just stuff that you don't really expect from a guy that you bring in, you give him all this money, and now he messing around. So Ravens, they had a short leash. They wasn't gonna deal with it too much longer, and they let him go, and rightfully so. I mean, they got Super Bowl aspirations, like I said, man. You can't afford to have those types of attitudes or those types of egos in your locker room when you're trying to win the Super Bowl. And so they had one of the greatest safeties of all time, and Ed Reed, and I believe in one of his meetings, he said, "Hey, man," one of his interviews. He was mentioning something about some trash on the floor or something. He's like, hey, man, you got to pick that up. It's just the mentality that they have, that Ravens team know what it takes when they trying to win the Super Bowl. And so they just got rid of him. And, I mean, so be it. I think they'll be fine. They'll definitely be fine.
Yeah, man. Don, what's your take on that whole Earl Thomas situation, man?
The whole take is kind of crazy to just hear Earl Thomas, him getting cut. He got sent home. Training camp. I mean, that was kind of bad on the and then they get the cap hit, which is understandable from the Ravens organization, who's trying to make it to the Super Bowl at this point. So they don't want any toxic energy in the locker room. A fight broke out, it happens, I get it, but for a veteran like as an Earl Thomas to go through something like that, and I mean, I understand what the Ravens did. They did the right thing. Next man up policy. So they said that the safety backup that came in caught a pick on the first play or something like that. So, I mean, I feel like they'll still be fine. They got a younger, fresher core. So, hopefully Earl Thomas gets signed elsewhere. I'm pretty sure he will because of his name. But hopefully the Ravens can bounce back from this too and stay non-toxic. Try to reach that goal.
Yeah, man. Like, kid, you talked about you don't remember anybody being sent home for this. I don't know about outside the NFL, but from the Patriots perspective, it was a couple years ago, if I'm not mistaken. I think it was a couple years ago because this was actually it was like 2-3 years ago. Gilmore's first year in New England. Him and Edelman got into a scrap. They actually got on the ground, was throwing punches, and Belichick sent both of them home, but they later brought back. So getting sent home isn't that big of a deal. Mm-hmm. It was to me, it was a red flag when they only sent Earl home. That's when I thought it was a red flag, because normally if it's a fight or whatever, they might be like, hey, both of y'all cool off, go home, and that'd be that, because Harbaugh's kind of shook like that. So the fact that Earl was just the only one sent home, and then if you look at the play, and then I think what really caused it, not only the fight, because it was a lot of things they were saying he missed meetings, he was missing meetings and stuff like that. They said he was freelancing. And I think that was the problem in that clip too, was Chuck Clark was like, hey, you're supposed to be over here, you over here freelancing. And, if you're going to freelance, that's one thing. But I think it's a situation where you got to hold yourself accountable. And, Earl Thomas, he has great instincts, ball hawking guy. And they said that he was freelancing, and he used to do that in Seattle too. That was the system that they ran there. And so when they sent him home and then they didn't bring him back and all that stuff, and you saw how angry the people got, nobody came and defended Earl too. You kind of look at that stuff. Again, there was a couple other red flags that happened behind the scenes, and none of this stuff got out publicly until all that happened. I don't know how true this is, because I don't know. I'm pretty sure you know this, kid, but GMs and teams, they'll sometimes float out information out there just to see the public perception, just to try to lessen the blow. So they leak stuff out like, hey, he did this, and this is why we're cutting him. But yeah, man, that whole situation is crazy. And it's, like I said, I wish we had some Ravens fans on here to talk about that whole stuff. Because I have a lot to say, because I know when Jamie Collins, when we traded him, I said because he was freelancing. A lot of people was like, nah, that's not the case. And you see what happens. But something, kid, to keep in mind, though, the Ravens and Seahawks, especially the Seahawks, they're known as 2 player-friendly locker rooms. So the fact that, in Seattle was more about money, he left there. But in Baltimore, I mean, they're about business, but Baltimore is. They still player-friendly and all that stuff. They look out for the guys, the GMs and all that stuff. So the fact that, they couldn't take it, that's something to look forward to. And also, like Dom said, that cap hit. You're not cutting a guy, taking a $20 million cap hit 2 weeks before a season, unless it's that bad. And so they was like, and like Dom said, they probably just like, you know what, we on a Super Bowl run, let's get him up out of here. So that whole Earl Thomas situation is crazy. He had the incident earlier this summer with his wife, and like I said, I think the biggest point though, kid, was the fact that he posted the video, because it seemed like he just didn't know how to shut up, and he posted that video. I think if he doesn't post that video, they might sweep it underneath the rug. But I think the fact that he posted it, the Ravens like, yeah.
They was gonna get rid of him regardless, man. Like if they wanted to keep Earl, they would have kept Earl by any means. Because honestly, if you watch that vid, it didn't really show you nothing, in my opinion. Now, I'm not a coach. I'm not a person that scouts. I'm not looking at tape or nothing like that. Maybe that could mean something to another team. But me looking at it from a fan's perspective, I don't see how that tape would got him cut. I'm just saying. If he was worth it, he would have been there. He wasn't worth it.
Yeah. I think it's I think it's more so the principle that because the tape really didn't show much, because it's not like they're showing a play and stuff like that. I mean, you can look at it as they exposed one of their offensive plays that they got. But Earl, I had to look at it twice, because I didn't realize who Earl was at first. I couldn't realize what happened, but apparently he was supposed to play deep high safety, and he went on a blitz because they were supposed to play cover 3, but he was trying to ball hawk, try to read a play, and he sent on the blitz. And I think the issue isn't that he blitzed because he's been freelance. I think the issue was he didn't hold himself accountable. Like, he was yelling at Clark like he was the person at fault when it was really him. And so, that whole Earl Thomas situation is crazy, man. Yeah, man, it's crazy, bro. Like, I never thought that 1 year that he would only last 1 year. I thought he was going to probably last his whole contract. Again, he signed a huge extension when he went there, but that whole Earl Thomas situation is wild, kid. I mean, so when you look at it, he's cut now. Some of the teams reported interested in the Texans, the 49ers, the Cowboys, for obvious reasons for Cowboys. Where do you see him going, kid?
I got him going to Dallas, man. Dallas Cowboys, the only team I see him going to. I think Dallas will be his last shot. because based off of who he is these last 2 years, the Seahawks let him go, and now the Baltimore Ravens, the only team I will see picking him up is the Dallas Cowboys. But we'll see. We'll see. We'll definitely see. That's the only team. I don't see the Browns. I don't see the maybe the Texans. Maybe because it's in Texas, but I really can't see them making that move either. It's the Dallas Cowboys, man. I can't see nobody else getting it.
Dom, who you got see Earl Thomas going to?
Yeah, I'm definitely choosing the Cowboys. If he goes elsewhere, it's probably going to be a loophole until next year or something like that. I mean, to make it not look too sketchy, but we all predicted him going to the Cowboys since last year. He shockingly went to Baltimore. Nobody's seen that coming, but it's got to be Dallas. That's the only choice I see.
Yeah, man, I think it's Dallas too. Like I said, if you don't know the history, it was about 2 years ago while he was still in Seattle after they played the Cowboys. He actually went into the Cowboys locker room, called with Jason Garrett, and told him to come get him. Some money didn't work out. I think Baltimore ended up paying him more than what the Dallas Cowboys were going to pay him. So Cowboys is interested. Mike McCarthy came out today and said they have no interest. But then Jerry Jones came out today and said that they still have interest, that they are looking to talk to his agent. They reevaluate the safety position. So we'll see how that all works out. I did a video on this. I have the Patriots as a dark horse. Just because if you look at if you kind of dig deep in it, and again, this ain't a thing.
Nah.
When you seriously dive and look at it, you can see why New England Patriots is a potential
personality on that team already. I don't think Bill ain't gonna get too much color over there.
What you mean?
Most of the personalities in Kendall's coat when he go to the field.
Hey man. Bill, look, we did it last year with AB. We've
Cam got a lot of personality over there. I think he's just gonna ride with Cam.
Nah, I think Earl Thomas again, a guy who you compare to Ed Reed and raves about Ed Reed like that. You tell me he's going to get an opportunity at that. Sir. I'm not saying he's Ed Reed, but he has similar traits.
I'm about to say.
Let me phrase it again. I'm not saying Earl Thomas is Ed Reed. I'm not saying he's better than Ed Reed. I'm not saying he is an Ed Reed. He's on the same level as Ed Reed. All I'm saying is the traits that he has can be compared to Ed Reed, but he's not Ed Reed. In terms of the ball hawking.
Absolutely, just say it. Sir, just say it. Stop being a coward and say it.
I'm not a coward. He's not Ed Reed. But I'm saying he has some similarities.
Like Ed Reed, but he ain't Ed Reed. Which is his Patriot?
You know what I'm
saying? Malik Hooker got traits as Ed Reed too then. How about that?
You know what I'm saying, man? When actually, if I'm not mistaken, when Earl Thomas came out of college, wasn't it his draft comparison to Ed Reed?
I think so. Sir. I wouldn't even
know.
So
we're doing that now by analysts? That's what we're doing?
Boy,
I mean, Bill. I'm saying Bill has compared. I'm saying Bill Belichick. That's the coach. That's the GM. That's the. I'm just saying.
Don't let Ravens.
Well, everybody can be compared to Ed Reed in that playbook. Am I right?
Don't let Ravens fan hear this.
Go ahead. They can hear it. Shoot, they can come at me on Twitter. It don't matter to me.
They already don't like you.
Hey, I don't care. Look, if Ravens fans got a problem too, go to my channel, watch the video, and tell me in the comment section. But make sure I get the view first though, before you do that. But no, yeah, that whole Earl Thomas situation is crazy. I mean, like Kid said, so if as a Packer fan, Kid, comparing this to the Josh Sitton thing, like what do you see similarities and differences to what again, Josh Sitton got cut out of nowhere either. So
he got cut out of nowhere. It wasn't no build up. All I heard was Packers about to trade or release Josh Sitton out of nowhere.
But yeah, so and now they introduced in the CBA that conduct detrimental. That's just a way for them to get paid out of guaranteed money. So I don't know if Earl Thomas is going to get the $10 million that he was guaranteed this year, because I think if you cut a player because of conduct detrimental to the team, I think you can get out of it. That's what AB was trying to do with the Patriots and everything. Why we ended up cutting them. So it's crazy, man. But moving on from the Earl Thomas situation. We have this quick injury report. Lamar Jackson, he hurt his groin. He's back at practice. He only missed a couple of days, but Harbaugh said it's a soft tissue injury with him, and I believe it was Jimmy Smith. So you can keep an eye out on there. Grant Delpit, I think it was second round pick for the Cleveland Browns, strong safety, ended up tearing his Achilles today actually. And then Mike Williams, the wide receiver from the Chargers, The coach Anthony Lynch, he's going to be out for a couple weeks. So those are kind of like the biggest injury reports. Yeah, man. I mean, kid, what do you guys say about all these injuries? I mean, football guys are always watching.
Hey, man, you gotta be careful. Gotta be careful out there, man. It's that time of the year. It's definitely that time of the year.
You think that Lamar injury is something that they should worry about, Dom? Or you think that's
basic, early season training camp type injuries, soft muscle and stuff like that. I mean, he fine, bro. Them soft tissue injuries, man, he'll be all right. You just gotta loosen up. That's all it is. I mean, he out of shape. He's out of shape a little bit. He'll get right.
I mean, he was out there running on the beaches. I mean,
hey, he'll get right. He'll get right. Like I said, man, just a couple more weeks. Oh my gosh, I can't wait. I'm telling you, I might take off that weekend. I don't know, man. I might take off. That's how much I'm looking forward to football, man.
You ain't taking off.
Might take off. I might even watch some games, like plural, like the afternoon slot. Might just be going between game and game. Obviously, I'm gonna have the Packer game on the main TV, but like on my computers and stuff, I might have some of my streams going. I don't know yet, man.
It's just so lovely to have football back. Yeah. But enough of that. Let's get into this NFL COVID stuff again. COVID still going rampant and everything. I believe it was it Friday or Thursday? I know it's sometime late last week. The NFL got 77 positive tests according to one specific lab out of New Jersey. So it was only one lab that got 77 positive tests. NFL quickly figured out what the problem was. Something happened. I guess something got contaminated. But all those 77 those are all false positives. Those 77 tests are now considered negative. They've been proven the facts and all that stuff. So NFL had a quick scare with those 77 positives at the time, but they were determined false. And yeah, man, like I said, football guys helping us out, but Don, this is something that could happen potentially like on a Friday or something, preparing for a game on Sunday. So how you feel like the NFL did handling this situation right now? Because it's something that could happen during the season.
I mean, it's a little sketchy. I just want them to get it all done before the season starts, to be honest, because I need to see some football. I don't want no breakups or no mishaps or surprise events or any of that kind of sort. This is the sport that we need. We got the basketball bubble. We got that. We appreciate it. But they need to get this all addressed and figured out before this starts. They're running out of time, to be honest. And hopefully they get it all situated.
Sir,
especially
who
with this.
Needs to get what situated, sir? Huh?
The NFL, man. The NFL got to get this.
Hold on, sir. They already have it situated, brother. What you talking about?
Yeah.
Hey, just making sure, because some teams said they use the fans and some said they not.
Oh, you talking about?
They need to get it off. Like the whole COVID thing in general, man. The fans, some people use the fans, some not. I think they should just all do the bubble thing, man. Not the bubble, but have like an empty arena or set up some cameras like some sports be doing. They got to do something.
Nah, we don't need that, bro. We don't need that. You know why?
I don't want no risk.
We got this. Listen, some teams is having fans, some teams is not. I believe that's recent. I know Dallas Cowboys haven't changed their stance on. I think they still doing fans. I want to say the Chiefs are doing fans. I know they have fans in their practices. So maybe they're trying to see what it will be like with fans in the stands, social distancing. But I think those are the only two teams I know for certain should have fans on week one. You got some teams that they sound a little nervous to me. Talking about, we need fans in the stands by this game. I ain't going to say what team it is. You follow them. He ain't sound a little shook.
It ain't even fans either that said that. These are players too.
A player that said that, right? Like, we need some fans for this game. Like, you nervous or something? Man? What's up? But anyway, I mean, look, I think they're gonna take it. I think the best time to actually have fans, to me, personally, especially if you're in an arena that's outside, is to do it in the beginning where it's warmer out. If there's supposed to be this quote-unquote second wave in the wintertime, why wait? You're either going to do it now or not do it at all. And so I hope, like for the Cowboys and for the Kansas City Chiefs, I hope they, it works out for them. Because that's a good thing to have. You got to have fans in the stands, man. I mean, I'll watch it regardless without the fans, but it's even better when you have fans in the stands. So As for these fake tests, I mean, look, they're trying to stop my league, but we not going. We're gonna keep going forward. We're gonna keep moving forward. That's where we at right now. So they got it. They got to figure it out, sir. We good.
Our commish got this unlocked. You know what I'm saying? Me and Kid always.
I know he does. I got faith in him, man. But I'm just saying, got to get it all situated before the season starts. That's it.
Yeah, I think wasn't Doug Peterson the only head coach that tested positive for Corona? And I mean, this is like back season? Like a few months ago.
Yes. Well, during the return.
I think he's the only. Yeah, like during all this stuff. So I mean, the positive test is still under 1%, if I'm not mistaken. The only thing, like I said, with the NFL positive test, it was only out of one lab, so that was a good thing. So I don't know what they're going to do. I think they said they still going to continue business with this lab, but if I'm the NFL, I'm kind of looking at y'all like, hey, y'all messing up over there. Need y'all to figure it out. We might not got to do business, but the fact that they was able to get that situated, and again, like I said, I think this happened middle of the week last week, if I'm not mistaken. But like I said, imagine this happens on a Friday. You know, by the time Friday hit, kid, you know, you pretty much got your game plan. You got your roster set into play. You might have 2 to 1 or 2 guys that you don't know if they're going to be able to go on Sunday or whatever. So yeah, like this is a situation, and that's another thing too, is if they have like a positive like this where it's only 1 out, because they're using like I think 6 or 7 different labs. They're using multiple different labs. So if you have a situation like this kid if one lab says this person's positive, but every other lab says no, like is that person now on hold for that game? Do they play? Like how do you think they should handle that situation? Because what the NFL did was once they saw them positive, and although it was only out of one lab, a lot of NFL teams shut down their facilities that next day on Sunday. So they was like, you know what? Don't even risk it. But again, that's only practice and stuff. So what do y'all think they should do with that situation if only one if this happens again?
Well, 2 answers is better than 1. So I say we do a majority vote. If 3 people say it's negative, then it's negative. If 1 person says positive, obviously he's the mole. Get him out of there.
There we go.
He trying to set us back. So, I mean, 3's going to beat 1. That's how I think it should just be a majority vote. 3 tests. I think somebody should find it after 3 tests.
Yeah, and you know it's crazy, kid. Like I tell people all the time, like the NBA, they went to a bubble and everything. They protected. NFL is showing people like, look, you wear masks and social distance and stuff.
Exactly. Y'all grown men. Y'all grown men. Be responsible. Not to mention, their contracts ain't guaranteed, so that's probably an extra motivating factor as well. So they gotta play.
They kept them in line.
Right.
Hey, and like I told people too about the Seahawks do last week, I said, look, and if you get out of line, get up out of there.
Exactly. Next man up.
Right. So the whole COVID positive test situation, I was a little scary for a little bit, but seeing the way the NFL handled it and seeing how serious that they're taking this stuff, the NFL was like, they're not going to be like the MLB. I'll tell you that right now. They're not going to have. I don't foresee, because all the teams have private planes, right? They don't do commercial and all this stuff, right? I think all the teams have private planes. So maybe I think what may happen too, kids, they may end up changing the travel schedule, because I know some teams they'll travel on Friday or something. A lot of teams may travel Saturday. Shoot, they may just end up telling teams, look, we're going to travel Saturday afternoon. We get there Saturday night, get there, stretch, go to a walkthrough, go to sleep. So that's going to happen. But as y'all see here at Mike and the Valley, we have one of our special guests finally here to join us.
Finally.
He has some stuff going on. One of our boys on social media and stuff, he's been asking us, can he come on the show? We sent the invite. He's finally here. My boy, Sel. Welcome to the show, man. Welcome to the fade, man. Hope you're ready.
What's up, Cowboys Nation is in the building.
Man, so you late for your haircut appointment, man. What's up, man?
Right. Can y'all hear me? Y'all hear me?
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, man. Sorry, man. My wife, she's just a few days off from delivery, man. So
nah, man. You all good, man. I know your the baby and everything's coming again. Like, I'll say it on YouTube. Congratulations, man. I hope everything goes well with that. But we just finished talking about the COVID positive stuff, and I'll get your opinion on that. But let's go back to the big news, the Earl Thomas situation, man. Let's do a little bit of recap. What do you think about that?
Oh man, it's a tough situation, honestly. I mean, like Kid said earlier this week on Twitter, when a team has Super Bowl aspirations, I mean, you can't have anything like that. So you gotta let them go.
Right. And so, Earl Thomas has been linked to the Cowboys. As a Cowboy fan, I'm gonna have you represent Cowboys Nation. Do you want Earl Thomas on your team?
Here we go.
Depending on the money.
Look at him.
Seeing that he's probably a cheap acquisition right now. I mean, they were saying something like he'd get like $1 to $2 million for this year. I mean, he got all the money that he was pretty much guaranteed from Baltimore, so he's probably not looking for too much money.
Look at him.
So, hey, if the price is right, yes sir.
It's crazy, Kid.
What?
He talked about let's pay Earl Thomas, but they don't even want to pay Dak yet.
That's crazy. That's what's really crazy.
Wow.
Where y'all getting all this money from, man?
Dak is going to get his money. It's just, like I said before the offseason started, I said somebody's going to be the odd man out, and that ended up being Byron Jones. So,
man, y'all just got Georgie Loca, HaHa, Clinton Dix. Y'all still get, why would y'all go get Earl Thomas, man?
I think there was like 1 year deals. Most of them were 1 to 2 year deals. I think HaHa was a 2 year deal, but it's cheap money. I mean, they're not guaranteed. No, HaHa was guaranteed like $2 million, but Iloka is a 1 year deal. I'm not worried about it at all. Plus, from what I hear,
Earl under the table like y'all pay everybody else, huh?
Yeah, from what I hear, HaHa ain't getting the job done. I hear that HaHa don't even got to start. I heard that he don't even got to start a job right now. So,
well, we was trying to tell y'all that before y'all signed him, but y'all signed him anyway.
Hey, listen, sir. Slow down on the HaHa slander.
My bad, Kid. My bad.
Oh, y'all not slandering HaHa, Kid? Oh,
bro, I don't slander HaHa. That's my guy.
He gave him some good. Whoa. More like bottom five.
That's crazy, Pitcher. He don't slander him, but the only safety he respect that left Green Bay is Micah Hyde. That's tough.
Facts. You know what I'm saying?
Bro,
they didn't want to pay him either. They didn't want to pay Micah Hyde either.
Bro, I told you what happened with that one, bro. We not going back down that path, man. I already told you.
Hey, Green Bay don't pay their defensive superstars, man.
That's
tell
crazy.
Tell him, Sel.
You know why? It's crazy because they just made somebody the highest paid nose tackle in history. But you're right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But how many people have y'all paid in like the last 10 years?
The last 10 years, we just matter of fact, the year prior, re-signed Dean Lowry, repaid repaid Devontae. We made Bakhtiari at one point.
Yeah, no, I meant
defense.
You
talking about defense?
You talking defense? We talking defense, kid. No
defense. I mean, we re-signed. We paid Nick Perry. We paid Clay Matthews. We paid.
He was gone. You see how quick that lasted.
Yeah, they had to go.
Realize his value.
They ain't paying out. They had to go. We got them Smith brothers. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
King about to
that was probably our best pickup in the last 4-5 years.
Bro, why is a Cowboys fan talking about paying players, bro? We not about to do this.
Why? Y'all acting like we don't break off players.
Bro, y'all ain't pay y'all quarterback. That's a red flag.
He will get paid.
But
I will say this: we did waste the opportunity.
How you pay the running back before you pay the quarterback?
They paid the receiver too.
Was due first.
No, the running back still had years left on this deal.
No, the way the contract, I think they have more control over Dak.
Zeke had a 5-year. He had a 5th-year option. Yes or no, sir?
But which one are you gonna franchise? One of them's gonna go, so you got to get one of them. You're gonna get the cheaper option done first, right?
No, you take care of the quarterback.
Of course, you take in a perfect world, you're gonna take care of the quarterback first, but you take care of the cheaper option. And Dak wasn't holding out.
Jerry ain't known to be cheap, sir. What you talking about? Cheaper option?
Zeke
talking about Jerry Jones.
Hey, kid. Remember, Jerry said his hand don't crank when it comes to writing checks.
Right. Skip Bayless said Jerry is known to overpay players.
Yes, he is. And when Dak Prescott deal come out, y'all gonna be like, he deserves that? He gets what?
I'm not gonna say that. You wanna know why? Because y'all should have signed him a year ago when he had years left, and that's what. Yeah. That's where the issue is coming into play. That you got to realize is with Zeke having years left, you able to get a slight discount or something like that. Dak, like, look, I got no years left, so if I was about to get hurt this year, y'all not gonna pay me, right?
And Jerry panicked.
What the
He
Cowboys.
He went to Cowboys.
Held out,
Yeah,
but you
he
also
went to
got to realize what else had happened. Todd Gurley had just got paid too, so you know what Zeke was asking for.
Zeke had about
Todd Gurley had
when
just
Zeke got
got
repaid,
paid.
didn't Zeke had like 2 years left on his deal?
He had like a year. He had like a year.
He had a
something.
year.
Is that with the option?
Yeah, I think he had an option year left after.
Yeah, he had the option year left, but
Now
he
you
was
see,
sitting out.
now
He
you
said he
see
wasn't gonna
when
play.
these other running backs, this upcoming running back class, all of these guys, they deals is up. They gonna be free agents.
Yeah, but you see how the NFL is doing running backs now. They not paying running backs no more. Like the top 5 is gonna get paid. The rest of them is pretty much we can get another one in the draft. The Patriots, everybody's taking a page out of the Patriots playbook, where you just get a few running backs that can do a little bit of everything, and you roll with it from there. You don't overpay for no running back, but the top 5 you got to pay. You're not just.
You can't take a page out of Patriots play, but that's a system over there, bro. That's just plug and play.
That's what I'm saying. But
you
everybody
just plug in anybody over there.
That's your system.
That's the same thing the 49ers just did. Same thing the 49ers just did. That's what
Now look at them.
Kansas City Chiefs is doing.
Ran over Green Bay.
They get these few running backs that can do everything. They don't just get a, an 80s type running back where they run for 3 down. They don't. There's not too many 3 down backs no more in the NFL.
So let me ask you this though, because you said something earlier and I didn't understand. You said Dak's gonna get his money, and you said somebody's gonna be the odd man out, and that's Byron Jones. So Byron Jones ain't there. So how come Dak can't get his money yet?
Because it's a work in progress.
Sir.
What you mean it's a work
in progress?
Hold on.
Okay.
Y'all can't negotiate a deal anymore because you passed the deadline.
I got a question for y'all. Where do y'all think Dak Prescott should get paid?
Like, how much should he get paid?
Yeah. So you got your Carson Wentz, where Carson Wentz, what did he get paid? $30 million a year.
Look it up.
Then you got the top of the line. You got Russell Westbrook. I think he got paid 35, 36 a year. Russell Wilson got paid like 35, 36 a year. So really, what are you gonna tell Dak, that he's not as good as Russell Wilson? You look up the stats. He gonna come bring back the stats like, hey, last year I passed for 4,500 yards.
They both kind of mid to me, but
But they gonna compare stats.
I'm gonna tell you so the thing is too, y'all look at the contract situations difference too. So Russ, when did Russ sign his deal? What was it, like 3 years ago?
Nah, like last year.
Like last year. So typically every year when somebody's up to get paid, they get more than the last person. That's typically how it works. The whole Carson Wentz deal, he got paid when he still had 1 year left on his deal. So he was able to take that much money. You have Dak Prescott, who doesn't have anything left after like he's on a tag right now. Last year he had nothing left. So now you're expecting him to take the same money as a guy who, one, is injury prone. Dak's been there every game, against a guy who, and you compare him to a guy who had 14 good games, only has 1 career playoff passes. I mean,
look, it's about to get tricky. See, the bar right now, Mahomes, I feel like set the bar. He let y'all know.
That's different.
At least that's what I'm saying. At least to Jerry. All right, I'm not going past Mahomes. Mahomes is gonna get up to 40, almost 40 a year. Where it's gonna get tricky is because Mahomes is a Super Bowl champ. He is either MVP. He deserves that money. Jerry can fall back on that. Y'all better hope the next guy that's in that Dak tier list is Deshaun Watson. Now, if Deshaun Watson, who ain't won an MVP,
that is a fact.
He up there with Dak when it comes to accolades. You can say, well, Dak got the Watson win the Rookie of the Year? I don't know if he did. Regardless, he don't have an MVP. Playoff success is iffy. I don't think. Matter of fact, I don't think Deshaun Watson. He did win 1 playoff.
That boy ain't got no success.
Him and Dak is the same. They about the same. Dak got the better numbers. Now Deshaun Watson.
But you know what's going to be crazy?
If Watson gets a crazy contract, that's where Jerry got to go. So Jerry needs to hurry this up. And it looked like he can't do it now. He got to wait till the end of the season. If Watson gets a deal done before Dak, that's going to tell you everything you need to know. Because that's going to be the new bar for him. If Dak gets some crazy number, Jerry got to match it, or Dak is out of there. That's him.
I think Dak's out of there regardless.
I think he's out of there. Once you franchise tag your quarterback, there ain't no going back from that.
The Texans is about to give Watson something crazy because he's the only person over there. They ain't got to pay nobody else.
Yep.
They only paid that left tackle with Tunzel.
Mm-hmm.
Man, Watson about to get the bag.
Watson about to set the bar, man. He gonna set the bar for Dak.
Mm-hmm.
He might get more than Mahomes. It's like,
nah. But yeah, man. So back to what we were just talking about, the whole COVID false positive test. So what do you think about the whole situation and how the NFL handled it? Yeah, so we gonna keep going on with the whole NFL COVID stuff, and we kind of touched a little bit the fans in the stadium. Just real quick, since we kind of already touched on it, Dom, do you feel like fans should be allowed in the stadium? Should it be allowed at certain capacity? Should it be all or none? Like, how do you think the NFL should handle the whole fan situation?
No fans. Simple. I don't want any fans bringing in, taking risks or precautions. Just let them stay at home or have some type of way to watch it other than us. But nah, I don't want any fans in the arena when we play. I don't want that type of risk against the players. Even though, the NFL is going to take good precautions and everything, I think it's just best if they stay home until everything's situated.
Gotcha. Kid, I mean, you've always said the Green Bay Packers have the best fans.
Yes, we do.
In the NFL.
Yes.
You said that y'all live off a home field advantage. So what's your whole take on this?
I mean, look. Oh, first of all, we don't live off home field advantage. We one of them dome teams that need fans to throw off teams. So number one. What?
Y'all have a home field advantage every time you play home.
I mean, what I think, look, the Green Bay's home field advantage is the weather. Once it starts getting cold, they ain't going nowhere, so they gonna have that regardless. But I think personally, I know Don said he doesn't think. I mean, I have no issues with fans being in there. I honestly feel like if you can go to a grocery store, if you can go to a mall, if you can go to, I mean, ain't like any of that other stuff is shut down. As long as the people are spread out, they're social distancing or whatever, you got a mask on, you do temperature checks coming through the arena, all that good stuff, I feel like why not? That's just me though. That's where I stand with it. I feel like why not? As long as everybody's safe, it's not like they can touch the players. They're not gonna have. Matter of fact, if you want to take away the first 10 rows, be my guest. But
yeah,
that's where I'm at with it.
I'm with you, kid. I think when it comes to the fans, and the Bills head coach McDermott has said that he don't like the inconsistency of it, and I'm the same way. Let's make it a uniform thing because they're basically going off of whatever their states that determines what's mandatory. I know Texas and Florida, they basically had like 25 to 30% capacity. Other people said they're not going to have fans for at least the first month. I'm with you though, kid. Let's make it all uniform so everybody has the same advantage. Like you said, if you can go to the grocery store, go to the mall, social distance the stadium out, and just don't allow nobody 10 stands behind from the end zone in the the end zone in the sidelines. As long as people are not close there, I don't see why not they're able to be able to do that. But I got to start right here because we got a special guest, man. We got first. I hope he was here in the beginning of the topic, but we're gonna circle back, man. This man needs no introduction, man. If y'all don't know,
nah, don't do it.
Ingraven,
what's going on?
Ingraven, the pulse of Ravens Nation on YouTube, man. Shout out to my boy Ingraven. We finally got him on the podcast. Ingraven, man. What's up, man?
What's going on, man? My fault for being a little too black tonight. Showed up way late, but it's all good.
Hey, man, you already know. And I should have told Ingraven we was gonna do it like about an hour or so early because I forgot. He and he just left out. Oh, he's back now.
Hey, can y'all hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now. So
all right, my bad. I was talking, but I guess my earbuds disconnected.
Nah, you good. I should have told Ingraven. I should have told Ingraven and Sel both come an hour early because y'all on CP time right now. But Ingraven, man, you already did a video on the Earl Thomas thing. We covered it, but again, just give a quick recap on the whole Earl Thomas situation, man.
Oh, this thing been a mess for a long time now, man. A lot of people think that the whole thing started because Earl Thomas ended up swinging on Chuck Clark and connecting with Chuck Clark, but it was long before that, man. This started last season. There had been reports about him getting into arguments and fights with Brandon Williams, and if you ever seen Brandon Williams, like he's a defensive lineman for the Ravens, but he's this big 300-something pound dude who always dancing, always jolly, always joking around. So it's like, man, for somebody to be getting into a fight with him, something got to be wrong with you. I don't know, man. You got to be a vibe killer or something. But Earl Thomas last year I just credit it to him being in a new defense, new team, new situation. While he wasn't bad last year at all, he obviously wasn't the Earl Thomas that we all know, and well, some people love. A lot of people don't love him anymore now. But he didn't make many plays, but he didn't give up many plays either. He did have a really good season. But it wasn't a big playmaking season, but he didn't give up many plays. But throughout the offseason, of course, the whole thing with him and his brother, all that mess that they got into, and it was just reported that he just didn't have that vibe that the team had, and that he was real disconnected, and he used to do a lot of freelancing. Ooh, sound like Jamie Collins from the Patriots. But anyway, he used to do a lot of freelancing, and just he wouldn't fall in line with the team. He just tried to do his own thing, and it was just, they said he missed meetings, they said he was late, they said he just didn't take part in stuff, and I think the Ravens were just waiting. I think they were waiting for something to just get him on up out of there, man. But and then when he swung on Chuck Clark, that was the exit. And Chuck Clark, if I'm sure y'all all saw the video of that Earl Thomas put up of the play that he said happened right before the fight. But Chuck Clark, he was just heated, man. And you could tell, some people think that Chuck Clark overreacted, and everybody entitled to their own opinion, whatever. But you could tell that had been boiling in Chuck Clark for a long time, because if somebody just keep irking you over and over, they just upsetting you over and over, it's only a matter of time before you blow up on them, man. And that's exactly what happened with that Chuck Clark thing. Now, Chuck Clark ended up being the recipient of a busted jaw temporarily, but still, Earl Thomas ended up being a recipient of a pink slip. So it's all good, man.
So do you think it was a money grab
for Earl Thomas?
Yeah, like going to Baltimore. Do you think it was more of a money grab? Because you know that y'all paid him what, $22 million the first year?
First year, man. For a 4-year, $55 million deal, $33 million guaranteed. Woo! And he only did 1 year of it. I do think that was definitely a big part of it, because why would you wouldn't turn that down? Like, you go to he was getting a 1 year, like I think $12 million offer from Kansas City. And while they're a really good team, like you getting, like, you got more guaranteed money than the total deal was worth from Kansas City and Baltimore. So their GM Eric DeCosta gave him a deal that he couldn't refuse, because he definitely wanted to upgrade after having Eric Weddle back there for the past couple of years. And I remember when they first signed him, I wasn't that excited, but more so because of the two broken legs. I'm like, man, he coming over off them two broken legs. Like, I don't want him falling on the field and stuff. And then they paid him all that money. I'm like,
So do you think it had anything to do with like the scheme that y'all run?
Yeah, that's a part of it too. Because I mean, in Seattle, it is a complete scheme change, everything was different for him. And he played in Seattle, I think, 9 years, and this was his first year in a new defense. So I think that had a lot to do with it too. But somebody, I forgot who it was, they mentioned a really good point about this whole thing. And they said it's very it's concerning that on a team like the Ravens, a winning team, a winning culture, and all that blah blah blah, a contender, that he would act this way when it comes to playing for a contender. So some people think that may be something else going on with him, man. Maybe something else going on in his head or something like that. I don't want to use the cliche, he's got CTE or something like that, but maybe he's like dealing with personal stuff and it's affecting him in the workspace. Never know, man.
I mean, he was in Seattle, and as you can, Sherman has chronicled, in Seattle they do things different, where it's kind of like, players police themselves, and he was the big dog in Seattle. And you think that him being a big dog in Seattle, although he didn't get paid,
they up there creating monsters
you
up
think
there in Seattle.
Pete Carroll is a player coach anyway.
you think him being that big dog in Seattle, you think he kind of came into Baltimore with kind of like an arrogance and that kind of ruined things, last year?
I mean, that could have definitely been a part of it. Because with the Ravens, there weren't, especially on defense. Now that I think about it, there weren't really many household names like that on the team on defense last year. Earl Thomas was probably the biggest name on that defense last year, and that was his first year with the team.
Y'all had some players
Yeah, a little bit. Last year, not too many though. Man, that's sometimes it gets so frustrating thinking like, man, we had a very healthy season last year.
Right, man. Like
Derrick Henry came to town.
A healthy season of gravy. You know that's one of the parts of winning the Super Bowl. I mean, you got a healthy year, you got to take advantage of that. Football guys looked out for y'all last year. Y'all didn't take advantage.
Like, man.
Like, so I ask you a couple more questions, and then we'll talk some more topics with this Earl Thomas stuff. But when he was doing all that talking last year, before the Chiefs game, they asked him, and you said this in the video before, they asked him, it was like, what's the difference? He's like, I'm here. Then before the Titans game, which I warned y'all, by the way, Ingraven, I warned you and Ravens fans about the Titans before that game. I was told that I didn't know anything. I was so made fun of. I warned y'all, but
it's all good. I mean, we should have heeded your warning. You saw firsthand being a Patriots fan what them Titans could do.
I told you. I said, look. I said that boy Derrick Henry. I said, look, he different right now. I try to warn y'all. And then Earl Thomas came and talked to Derrick Henry. He was like, oh yeah, he ain't gonna do this. And then I think it was like the first drive. He actually just stepped on him. He stepped on him back, then brought him back to Baltimore. So did you have a problem with Earl Thomas doing all the chattering, like pregame and during the week and stuff?
Oh, that was tough, man, because you a football player, man. You can't be no punk or nothing like that. Yeah. But at the same time, you don't want to set yourself up, and you don't want to set your team up. That's the thing with a lot of the statements that he made. And I'm glad you brought that up because I didn't really think about it like this before. But with a lot of the statements that he made, he almost set the team up. Of course, the team, they still got to show up and play regardless of what anybody says. But he almost not set them up for failure, but he sort of put an extra target on their back. Of course, every offense that they go up against, they're going to try to bring it regardless. But with Earl Thomas against the Chiefs, I'm going to be the one to eliminate the big plays. Well, that certainly didn't. Well, ain't no big plays on his side, but we didn't eliminate the big plays versus the Chiefs. Against the Browns, like, oh, man, the Nick Chubb run, where this dude stopped chasing him. And that was frustrating with that one. That one, like, I love being straight up. I love being straightforward. I appreciate people being blunt. But sometimes you just gotta don't say anything, man. Because I love people being truthful. But with Earl Thomas, after he pulled up against Nick Chubb, when he stopped running after him, he said he stopped running because he didn't want to pull a hamstring. And I'm like, wow, you got to keep that to yourself, homie.
Yeah.
Like, don't tell the world that one. And then, of course, against Derrick Henry, as we all know, he said people are afraid to hit Derrick Henry. And, yeah, he just got turned around twice. It was just bad, man. Oh, and then the last but not least, he said, whoever we play in the Super Bowl, and we obviously didn't even win a playoff game. So I wasn't a big fan of all his quotes because they all came back to bite him in the butt.
I don't know what it is in major sports nowadays. It's like a lot of these people that come out with these bold statements, it's like it always comes back to haunt them.
And like Ingraven said, like it would be one thing if Earl said, well, if they test me, that's one thing if you just say yourself, but when you kind of put the whole defense and the whole team so to talk, then it's like, okay, like now the teammates got to answer in the postgame after y'all lost, because I remember that in the Titans game, the team has got to answer, well, y'all couldn't stop Derrick Henry, and Earl Thomas said this and that. So now they got to answer for starts talking everything. I got a couple more questions on the Earl Thomas situation, then we'll move on. Not even looking back at it, but hindsight's always 20/20. And a lot of this stuff that's coming out saying it happened started last year and it built up. And in the moment last year, did you realize that stuff was happening, or was it kind of like after you released, you went back and was like, I didn't realize that happened. I didn't realize that happened like that.
When he got into the argument with Brandon Williams, I just didn't realize how big that was. I thought that it was just one of them things where they got into it, whatever. Okay, no big deal. It happens. Maybe Earl Thomas was upset because Brandon Williams was injured that game and he didn't get to be out there with them, and Ravens ended up losing, and their run defense was terrible that game. But I didn't realize how deep it was back then. And a lot of the stuff about the meetings and stuff, that stuff hadn't came out until recently. But one thing with Earl Thomas, that he actually said himself that he was struggling getting the playbook down. He said that from training camp last year. And he had also called Chuck Clark one of the smartest players on the team. And so with Earl Thomas, we got little clues here and there, but just the depth of what was going on, the bigger picture, I don't think that wasn't really publicized like that. So I didn't really know that it was like that.
Got you. And so last thing, and we move on to a different topic. Now that he's gone, actually it's kind of a two-part question. Now that he's gone, one, are we going to slander Earl Thomas? Are we starting to slander trade for Ravens fans? And two, where do you see Earl Thomas going there?
You know, a lot of them done already started, man. I mean, with me, Earl Thomas, he was a good player, man. He was, even though he ain't get like 1 million picks last year, he only got 2. He ain't give up many big plays. So with Earl Thomas, like I know a lot of fans, they're fans, which I can understand. They're fanatics. They ride for their team, and whatever the team does, they're gonna be with 1,000%. But I ain't got no reason to slander Earl Thomas, man. At least for his play. For the meetings and stuff, yeah, I mean, you're going to see some stuff on Twitter and Instagram and whatnot, but for his play on the field, nah, man, he was just fine. And with him not really knowing and having a grasp on the playbook, he still played really good.
Gotcha.
Hold on. I forgot the second part of the question.
I was about to say, and so where do you see him going now?
Yeah, okay. First I thought Dallas, but then I was thinking about it, I'm like, man, that just seems like too obvious of a choice.
Fact.
I watched your video about the him possibly going to the Patriots. You know, that would be a move that makes sense.
You should have heard him earlier, you should have heard him earlier.
I'll say it still earlier.
I'm reading all types of stuff, Ingraven.
I'll say it again. I'll let Ingraven finish, but I'll say it again. I don't got. Hey, ain't no cap in my rap. Hold on. Ain't no cap in my rap. Go ahead, Ingraven. You can finish up. I got no cap in my rap.
No, but what was it called? I could see the Patriots doing it because Bill Belichick, he always lurking, man. He always lurking, and I think it's somebody that's missing, man. I think it's gonna be like a sneak team, man, that just could end up swooping them. Maybe even the 49. I know they got Jimmy Ward, but maybe Richard Sherman could be like, "Hey, let's run this one more time, man." So I can see the Texans. Texans, yeah. Saints would be a good one too, because Earl Thomas,
Texans.
He got to go somewhere that has a good, like a lot of veteran presence, man. He got to, man, because another thing to take note of too with Earl Thomas is that how is it that, you know, the Ravens, they this young team, bunch of young dudes on the team, with that young vibe and whatnot. If you can't vibe with that team, like a young successful team, then who can you really vibe with? So just something to think about, man. But we're gonna see what happens with old Uncle Earl, man. We're gonna see.
Hey, you know what's funny? You know what's funny?
Damn.
What's funny?
What's up, man?
What's happening? You know what's funny? I just said the same thing. Ain't that crazy?
Oh, really?
That locker room so young. Like, if you got the young dudes who in this NFL, they chill about everything. You got them feeling a type of way, then it might have been time to call it.
Yeah, man.
Well, we got
Ravens fans. Let it all out. We here for it.
I was about to say, kid, you might got to section this off and just have this as a Ravens vent session. So
hold on. I just stopped there for a minute. I just got out of practice and I saw y'all was still going, so I just stopped there for a minute.
Nah. Well, since you stopped through, what's your give the people your thoughts on this whole Earl Thomas thing? Say, we just having a Ravens.
The Earl Thomas thing, I don't really feel a way about it. I'm sad it panned out the way that it did because I love Earl Thomas, even with the Seahawks. And I thought he didn't have a bad year last year. So before people start trying to say, he didn't do anything and he wasn't that good. I mean, he was good for us. It just didn't work out. And sometimes that's just how it goes in football.
Gotcha.
It is what it is. I hope and wish him nothing but the best. I want to see him do well with wherever he goes, as long as it ain't in a division, But I don't have any slander for Earl. I think that anybody that knows kind of the situation of what's been going on, I think it was building up, and I think when the stuff with his brother and everything happened, they were looking for a way out then.
Oh my
goodness! Kind of just presented itself. So, it is what it is.
Ham, you saw the play, right, Ham?
What now?
I said you saw the play with that happened, right, with the whole fight and everything, right? You saw it?
Yeah, I saw it.
He saw it.
Yeah. So as a defensive coach, we got Coach Champion there. So as a defensive coach, what was going on, man? Explaining to people who might not understand the whole situation.
It was a busted play, and it was a busted play, and it was Earl's fault. Earl wasn't where he was supposed to be, so I'm not really. It looked like Chuck Clark might have been in the wrong position, but then when you watch it back, I think Earl thought one thing, and he tried to tell them where they were supposed to be. And everybody were where they were supposed to be except for Earl. And then the confirmation is Earl's Instagram where he said it was his fault. He busted the play. So for him to be the one to bust the play and then to act like that.
And then busted his lip.
What happened?
Busted the play and then busted his jaw.
Right, busted Clark's jaw.
So it's your fault. Like him flinging the helmet like that. Like when you see like the helmet looked like it almost rolled into Clark's calf when he threw it. So that's issue number one. And then two, for them to get into an actual physical altercation, and you've never heard any bad thing about Chuck Clark and what he's doing out there. They just paid the man. So the DC definitely believes in him. The coaches and the owners believe in him. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, it might have just been time. That team is getting younger. And it just didn't pan out, I think.
And so a couple things for you here with this whole Earl Thomas thing. I asked Ingraven this earlier. Did you notice? Hindsight's 2020, but did you notice any of this stuff last year, like the freelancing and all that stuff?
No, absolutely. Anybody that's trying to tell you that they did, they're lying. I think that you might have thought, like I thought, there might have been a little bit of friction with maybe some of the other older guys, just because of the talking, like all the other stuff that's been going on. I don't think we would have known that. And they've done a good job with keeping most of it in-house. I think even with Earl, he was surprised that it came out that what happened. But, I mean, to me, I think he talked a lot all year last year. And that's not really something that Baltimore does in general. And so, like, every time he was making a headline for saying something crazy, and then we got to play that next week, I'm just like, oh, here we go. Here we go. He didn't get it. Like the whole it's gonna be tough for whoever got to meet us in the Super Bowl. I was like,
that was it.
Oh my goodness.
Man. Did he say that after the Patriot game?
That was earlier in the year, I thought. Okay. When they was on the run. Oh, you talking about? Oh, okay, yeah, you might be right.
I had a front row seat to that.
Oh yeah, that beat down.
I had fun though. I
bet you did.
Mm-hmm. Got a couple autographs.
I appreciate the coin.
Oh yeah. I try to get Ingraven. I try to get Ingraven a coin, but yeah, y'all Ravens.
Ingraven. Oh man, that's
I was trying to get him another coin, but y'all Ravens.
Trying to get two. I feel you.
Y'all Ravens fans were stingy with that joint. I even asked some Patriot fans. They was like, no.
If that had been anybody else but Ed or Ray, they probably gave out 2 or 3.
You said if it was Ogden? Wow, that's crazy.
Oh, look at you.
But last 2 things on the whole Earl situation, because you kind of answered one of them with him talking and stuff. So with him, or with Earl being gone now, what team do you see him going to?
I think Dallas is still up there. I know they said they're not interested, but a lot can happen between now and week 3 if he's still available.
Actually, Jerry Jones actually came out and said that report was false.
Facts. He trumped McCarthy.
Yeah. Even when the report came out, I was like, yeah, they lying. Yeah. I don't believe that at all. They could use him. He wants to be there. He was like, everybody remember the clip of him walking in their locker room saying, "Come get me." So I didn't believe that.
Dang, you call McCarthy a liar? Sheesh.
I just say if it's
nothing to do with McCarthy.
McCarthy was the one that said it though. He said that they weren't interested in Earl.
So when have you seen a head coach come to Dallas and make decisions?
All right, look, Mike gonna learn the hard way, man.
Mark better sit his ass down somewhere.
Dang, kid, you gonna let your boy Mike McCarthy turn into a puppet? That's crazy.
Hey,
He let that happen. He knew what it was when Jerry called him up.
Another team I could see, but it doesn't make sense to me is the Browns. I could see them just trying to go after the name. They don't really need him. They need a box safety. Delpit was going to be that for them with that D line, and they need a strong safety that can play in the box. Earl can play in the box, but that's not really what he did. That was one of the reasons why he was having a hard time meshing in Baltimore. Is that they weren't hit the play style of safety. Baltimore is not really what he used to doing.
Yeah, he's not a box safety.
No.
So let me ask you this one last question, because I'm glad you in here. Did you see my video on Earl Thomas?
No, I didn't get a chance to watch it. I'm just watching it.
You ain't missed nothing. You ain't missed nothing.
I know you over talking crazy. I'm gonna watch it tonight.
I'm gonna tell you something right now. So, do you not think? And you're an Ed Reed fan. And again, let me rephrase it before you get mad. Before you get mad,
I had to check you yesterday.
Nah, don't rephrase it.
Before you get mad, I'm not saying he is Ed Reed, but you tell me he don't got similar comparisons to him. He don't got some traits.
They got. He's got a few always being around the ball. He's got a head for
ball hawking, right?
But he ain't no Ed.
I never said
he ain't no Ed, and he about 2 years past his prime and had two broken legs.
And I didn't never say that.
Don't let Patrick fool you.
All I said was the ball hawking is comparison to
listen, I'm tell you he's trying his hardest to draw that comparison, because Bill has been saying that his all-time favorite player was Ed Reed since the beginning of time. He's trying to make that comparison, make him come in the
expose
him. No, someone's supposed to say, because here's the thing. Not the one that was compared to Ed Reed. That was Bill Belichick back in 2016. Said Earl Thomas reminds him of Ed Reed. That's Bill Belichick's words. That's not mine. That's Bill Belichick's words.
Okay, but that's also you talking about. That's prime Legion of Boom, right?
2016. What was it, like 2016, 2017? He said it
on their Super Bowl run.
He said it last year too when we was going to play all. He made that comment too last year.
Earl, as a true free safety with ball hawking ability, you can see it, but ain't nobody here.
I'm saying he's a different level. I'm just saying the characteristics.
Not even y'all's favorite Troy is it.
I'm not saying he is I'm just saying the characteristics. So you telling me Belichick, who has compared him to Ed Reed multiple times.
I can see what he's trying to do, but you talking about how old is Thomas now? 32.
Yeah.
Yeah. You at this point you hoping that you get what Earl used to be. But like you can forget the Ed comparison. You trying to hope and you gonna get what Earl used to be.
No. Because and I saw this in the video, but in our system we run a 3 safety system. We have one in the box and we have 2 free, like basically free safety roaming around. We traded one in Deron Harmon to Detroit and we never replaced him.
I tell you this, if he does go to the Patriots, Bill gonna know how to use him.
That's what I'm saying. You tell me.
I think he would be happy with the fact.
I'm just saying. I've been told Bill Belichick is the greatest coach. He's the greatest GM right now. I'm just saying. You tell me Bill Belichick don't want to win football games. Just
greatest GM.
Throwing it out there.
He's just the best at putting players where they need to be.
So you're a Cowboys fan. You cannot talk.
I ain't gonna say all
that wasn't even slander.
Carrying Brady. I don't know.
Anyways, we moved on for the Earl Thomas situation. We got a little off topic. I'm glad the Ravens fans were able to vent and get that hate out your heart. Get all y'all emotions.
This is about that hate. Ain't no hate. We love Earl. It didn't work out.
So
it didn't work out.
So you getting Devin an Earl jersey?
Devin has Lamar Jackson.
We can wrap it up with another topic, then we can fall back on that, man. We'd already pushed like over an hour now.
Yeah. No. We'll talk about. We'll wrap it up with that. We just got one more topic. We'll talk about Buda Baker's extension, because I saw you had a issue with it earlier today.
I mean, I ain't had no issues with it. I just found that interesting. That's all.
So Buda Baker, if y'all don't know, he got his extension today, actually. 4 years, $59 million. It's the highest paid safety in NFL history.
Bro. Think about that.
He's 24
Will be
years
trumped
old.
pretty quickly.
Who get more
I
than
think
him?
that's just where the
There's two safeties that's finna get paid.
Oh, Derwin?
Derwin and Jamal.
Oh, yeah, Jamal.
Jamal's next.
Jamal.
So
Jamal gonna make sure he lasts. He finna get capped out.
So Hamps, since you joined and everything, and again, you were a defensive coach, what you think about this whole signing? 4 years, $59 million.
Pay them boys, man. This is a different league. It's a pass heavy league. If they telling you if every chart, every ranking that come out got you in the top 3, pay them boys. That's how I see it. That's what the NFL always was. It's a market-based pay scale. If the market say that's what he's supposed to get, then that's just how it goes. Because 3 years from now, we'll be doing this all over again. 3-4 years from now.
Facts.
So, I mean, it is what
You know
it
what?
is.
You might be on something. I think this deal might be up there. Might be that deal where Ryan Tannehill all of a sudden was the highest paid quarterback out of nowhere.
And it's just because that's just how it happened.
Yeah.
It wasn't because it ain't necessarily that he was supposed to get that. It's just it was his time, and the market say that's what he's getting. Now, what I would have gave him that, I don't think so. But that's why I'm not a GM.
Gotcha. So you're an NFC guy. You know a little bit about the Cardinals. What you think about this deal, man?
I think it's smart. I think you got to get ahead of the market, unlike what we did. You got to get ahead of the market. So I think this deal was smart. Now, right now, you may think, question marks. Why is he getting paid this much? But like he said, you wait too long, Derwin gonna get his contract. Jamal finna get his contract. Then let Buda Baker have a All Pro season. Let him make first team All Pro this next year. Then you gonna be looking like, so you gotta pay that man ahead.
Gotcha. Ingraven, what's your whole thoughts on this whole signing, man?
I mean, yeah, I did see where he hasn't got an interception yet, but
he's more of a boxer, like more of a DB type, a strong safety type thing. I think because he's like leading like the league in like tackles by
So
safety.
you saying he Tony Jefferson?
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh man,
I mean,
He your favorite linebacker, TP.
Oh man.
Go ahead, Ingraven.
Even Troy was getting interceptions. I don't know now.
Go ahead, Ingraven. Happy to cut you off.
Oh man, hey man, like Ham said at the beginning, man. The market, man. The market. You don't have to be the best at your position to make the best money, man. It just always reminds me of Joe Flacco, man. Of course, he did his thing in the playoffs and won the Super Bowl, whatever. But there was never any point in the league where he was ever the best quarterback. But he was the highest paid quarterback twice, 2 separate occasions. So it's the market, and I think it was Selwyn that said that made a good point too about how you pay somebody early, man. Because if you wait to pay them, the longer you wait to pay them, that price tag gonna keep going up, man. And the higher it goes up, the more tough it is. It's gonna be for you to not only pay them but take care of other people on your team too. So he got his money. I'm happy for him, and hope he do his thing. I am excited to see that just the Cardinals team as a whole, man. Especially on offense since they got the best receiver in the league. But I just can't wait to see them, man.
Gotcha. Now, what's your take on this whole the Buda Baker signing?
I mean, I ain't mad at it. He in my conference, so I ain't got to worry about him. But other than that, 2-time Pro Bowler, he was going to get paid regardless. I'm glad that the Cardinals was smart enough to pay him now instead of waiting, like everyone else said. He deserved the money. He made the Pro Bowl twice. So, I mean, as long as he do what he do and don't become a Matthew Stafford and just fall off the side of the earth after get paid, he should be fine. So, shout out to Buda Baker and hopefully the Cardinals can hopefully the Cardinals can do what they can do.
Hey,
and shout out to DeAndre Hopkins too, because he is the best receiver now that they ain't used him.
Hey, I ain't gonna lie down. Matt Stafford in poverty. That ain't all his fault. He in poverty. So
He's just in the big
Hey,
boy.
Patriot, I got a question
He's
for
just in
you.
the
He
big
got
boy
paid
division.
in-
That's all it is, man. We
Yes.
playing with the big boys. You know what I'm saying? It's hard to get out of the north. Hard to get
What's
out
up,
of the
son?
NFC North.
Stafford
Patriot, I got a
this
question.
year handcuffed to Calvin Johnson, so that's the problem.
Nah.
we talk about it later. What's up, son? What you got?
So where do you realistically see your Patriots finishing this?
Okay, I'm gonna answer that question after the Buda Baker. So I'm gonna answer that question after we finish up this Buda Baker stuff. This whole contract, they kind of do what they did with Honey Badger in a sense because he was the replacement safety after they let Badger go. He lines up at the nickel corner. He's a linebacker in the box. He plays the deep safety, so he's very versatile. And I think that's another reason why he got this contract because he doesn't just do one thing. He does about 3 to 4 different jobs on the defense, and that availability, that being able to be put in different positions where at any given time he could be in the box, he could be the deep safety, he could be a nickel corner. So I think that's the big reason. And he's 24 years old, and he's the next one up. He was on the NFL 100 this year, man. So go and get your money, man. I ain't mad at him.
See, I ain't mad at
yeah,
that
you
either,
see
man.
that?
I'm not even mad at that.
The
You know
great
what I'm
Cardinal
saying?
has made a special appearance.
Hey, man.
I just felt like, I feel like in this situation it's unique because you got Jamal coming up. I just felt like maybe the Cardinals should have just waited for what Jamal would have got, set the bar, because you ain't gonna pay him more than what Jamal get, right? That's how I look at it. That's how I look
I
at
don't
it.
know. You don't want to pull the Cowboys and be like that.
So if you a team with a young safety or a young player, you want to be first because these contracts always come in threes. So the third person Jamal gonna be the third. Derwin gonna get paid before Jamal. He gonna make sure of that.
You think so?
You want to be the third. If you smart, you always want to be the third person to get the deal because you gonna be the one to set the market for the next 4 or 5 years. That's the big one. The first one gonna look big till the next two come out.
Jamal should be
The
next, right?
two
I
that
mean,
drop,
how many years Darwin got? Darwin came in the league like 2 years ago?
this only like that.
I think they came in the
like
same.
2 or 3 years.
Yeah, Derwin eligible after this year. This will be his third
Yeah,
year
Jamal should
Yeah.
be good.
because
Yeah.
he came in with Lamar.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, but 4 years, $59 million. Go ahead and get your money. Hopefully it lasts longer than Earl Thomas because you got the same contract as him with $4 extra million. So hopefully he lasts a little bit longer than that. What you say? So you said what do I see our Patriots realistically?
Yeah, realistically.
Pre-Cam Newton, I saw the highest we was going to do is 8-8. Pre-Cam Newton, I was hoping that we go 2-14. Post-Cam Newton, sir.
Well,
Take it
Trevor-
down.
Bro,
You see that quarterback at Clemson? I want to go
Bro,
2-14
nah,
too.
nah, Bill like
Yeah,
that,
you know what
dog.
he on. You know what he on.
Do not
Hey,
disrespect Bill like that, bro. Bill ain't going no 2-14, bro.
Look, I said it probably won't happen.
Bill
I
is
said
not the playbook before he go 2-14.
I said what should happen. I knew it was going to happen. I said what should happen. It should go. But now that we got Cam Newton looking at everything, if we, I see us right now. I got us at 9-7, 10-6. I keep forgetting there's an extra playoff spot, so we probably end up going to the playoffs, sneaking into that extra.
Don't
extra
undersell
playoff
yourself, sir. Don't do
Boy,
that.
that division is too soft
Bro,
for
you
y'all
in the
not to
AFC
make it.
East still.
Sir, whoa. Your Bills are.
Nah,
I'm about to say, I don't know. Them Bills coming back
them
looking
Bills
nice.
get the Patriots.
No, hold on, Ham. Because 2-3 years ago, I remember kids saying my Bills is going to win the division. He kept talking about the Bills. I don't want to hear none of that. I don't want to hear none of that. But I division C. I don't want to hear that. None of that. I ain't trying to hear that. I ain't trying to hear that.
I remember that picture. My
know what
boy
I'm saying?
Micah Hyde over there too. That's what he used to say.
Remember Micah Hyde? Remember he said playoff Tyrod, then he went to playoff
Next
Bortles.
week,
Y'all remember
next
that?
week, since you saying that, I'm picking my AFC team next week.
Yeah,
Yeah, we gonna pick teams next week. I hope people can join. Carry on anyway.
Right.
But yeah,
He
I
just gonna pick the Chiefs. What we doing?
no. We go by we do division. We do like the division winners camp and then wild card and then we kind of do like that.
I don't believe none kid talking about it. You just told me he was Bills Mafia. Get him out there.
Oh yeah, I forgot. Was it last year? He said Team 32 was gonna
Bro,
go to.
no, listen, I'm picking my team next week. Just know that.
I ain't forget. But nah, I see us going 10-6. I'll give everybody a quick question before we end. And all everybody get one question. I'll have this one for Hamp and Ingraven since they're both Ravens fans. Lamar's coming up contract. What's the contract numbers you see him getting?
Oof.
Ridiculous.
Make it sound like he gonna be overpaid, Ham. That's how you made that sound.
Hey, you can't overpay an MVP.
I mean, does he have a playoff game?
Whoa.
MVP and number one in top
right.
100.
You
Don't
right.
forget.
Get him one this year.
Hey, if we don't get the playoff one this year,
that boy still he 22. He 22. I ain't worried about it.
Hey, kid, you know what it smell like to me if you don't get a playoff win?
What it smell like?
It smell like a dialogue coming.
Oh man.
You ain't even gonna have to worry about all that, man.
Me and Ingraven had conversations. You know, we made lunch and talked about it. I like Lamar, man. I really hope I don't have to be the one to make the dialogue about it. But if I had to be the one,
Oh my god!
Look at him.
But not like. But give me a number that y'all got Ingraven in here for Lamar. What number y'all got?
Oh man, I don't even know. I could give you a situation though. I do think that with Lamar, not saying that he's gonna be cheap with it or anything like that, but I do think he's gonna come up with something that is doable for him and for the team as well, to where they still are able to maneuver around the salary cap, but he's still getting paid a nice chunk of change. I don't think he's gonna sell himself short necessarily, but I do think it's gonna be something reasonable.
You think
to where it works for both sides? Go ahead.
You think it'll be like a Mahomes type, like a 10-year type of deal, or
Oh
you think
no,
it's gonna be
I
traditional?
don't see nobody. I don't see nobody doing that.
Okay.
5 years, $200 million. Does that sound about right?
5 years, $200 million.
That boy Mahomes trying to play.
That's about $40 million a year.
40 a year, probably fully guaranteed. Why not?
40.
It's gonna be hard going past 40 a year, man.
It depends on it depends on the results of this year, man. Everything it depends on the results of this year, man. Because they could technically wait 2 more years to pay, because you got this year. This will be his 3rd year. And you got the 4th year and the 5th year option. You could wait, but when they win the Super Bowl, sorry to be like Earl Thomas, but when they win the Super Bowl this year, then you're forced. Your hand is forced. So you at that point you can't. I mean, you still can't wait, but you might want to do that like right now.
That's a bomb ready to go off, because now you not only that, he's already tagged on. These contracts are incentive based. His biggest incentive right now is that he's only lost 3 games, and he's won an MVP. Now they win a Super Bowl. Shit, I don't know what's gonna happen. I don't even think I'm ready for that. I might have a heart attack.
Man, you sound like yourself on Madden when you had to pay.
Man, you remember that? I almost fell out in the online league when I offered him what he asked, and he turned it down anyway. I said, "Oh my god, he about to bust my head open."
But yeah, I think real quick, I think another thing that's going to impact it is we don't know what the salary cap going to look like next year with this whole COVID stuff, because it's been talked that the salary cap is going to actually go down because of the lost revenue and stuff. So
when's the last has the cap ever gone down in like the last 10 years?
Nah, it's always gone up, but with them not having the revenue that they normally are projecting to have, they said they potentially might have to reduce salary cap by like 10 mil by each team. So that's a big thing too. So, okay.
I think the only thing that would hurt them with that is team wise is that they would be forced to wait.
Gotcha. Before I move on from y'all, Ingraven, you say when y'all win the Super Bowl as in like 2020, 2021 NFL season, right?
That is correct.
Cool. Just a safe clip. Anyway,
hey, I'm with you, man.
Dom, quick question for you, man. Where do you see your team going, man? Can we get a quick stat line for Phillip Rivers this year?
Oof.
A stat line.
Yeah.
Well, I can give you a record. All my records has pretty much been solid. I kid you not. So this year I can say we go 10-6.
Okay.
Phillip Rivers getting 4,000 yards?
Of course, he's accurate. He's an accurate quarterback.
How many interceptions? That's the big one. How many interceptions?
Less than what he did last year. I know that for sure. He got an O-line.
I got you. Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, I do got the best offensive lineman in the game, so I can't.
We're gonna be in the pocket for 2 days.
Y'all do got the best offensive lineman in the game. You know, Quentin Nelson.
Best O line, top 5 running back core, a decent receiver.
Hey, kid, we not going to disrespect Big Q like that. We ain't going to disrespect.
He ain't no David Bakhtiari. You know, he all right. You know what
Oh,
I'm saying?
Spur.
Bakhtiari wish he was Stanley.
At least Bakhtiari got paid.
Oh my gosh! Oh, whoa! This what we doing?
Oh, you know Stanley
He started it.
No, I'm letting it slide. Let it slide.
All right. So what? So question for you, man. We already kind of talked about Dak and everything. Where do you see your team next year, man? Are we 8-8? Are you guaranteed 8-8 again?
Truthful prediction. I think we go 9-7 and we win the.
No.
9-7.
9-7.
I like that.
I think 9-7 wins the division.
Oh my God.
Cupcake division. You talking?
Shit, 8-8 winning the division. We need something better than that.
9-7. That don't sound very confident.
I think 9-7 is winning the division. Because I don't know what Mike
the new
McCarthy's
coach
system is
too,
gonna
kid. Come on, it's a new coach.
Bro, that team
And
is too stacked to be saying we going 9-7.
And it's an
But they always stack.
That's true.
They always stack. At least he being honest.
My guy still hurt, bro. He's
Yeah, actually, I got one more question for Ingraven and him. Then I'm gonna end it after that. But one for you, kid, with your Packers, man.
Yes.
Tell us, are we getting to the Super Bowl this year?
Bro, listen. You know my motto. We take it 1 week at a time. You know what I'm saying? We trying to go 1-0 every week. That's the motto we got over here in Green Bay. Now, unlike Sel, I'm not gonna be a coward behind my record. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna up my team. We're not going 13-3 again. I don't think that's gonna happen. I'll take 11-5. I'll take that.
Does
Could you explain the referee jumping in the Lambeau leap, sir?
Bro, we ain't got the rest on our side, bro.
Does Rodgers get MVP finalist this year? Yes or no?
Bro, Rodgers not getting an MVP, man. He's not getting an MVP.
Okay, I just
I told y'all this last year.
I just ask a question. Last one for half and Ingraven. I don't know if y'all saw the podcast about a couple.
That's a young man stat now, man.
I mean, Brady won it, a couple years.
Brady should have won it.
You know what I'm saying? Should have, would have, could have.
Brady got the Steve Nash award.
Y'all talk about what y'all talk about woulda, coulda, shoulda. But if you go look at Tom Brady's accolades, they got an MVP there. Now do it.
Brady was Steve Nash getting that award.
He won it because somebody got hurt. What type of mess is that?
And stay healthy. Tell that boy drink some milk. He told me.
Oh no.
Anyway, Ingraven and Ham. I don't know if y'all saw the podcast a couple weeks ago, but we did our top fives and everything. And somebody in here said Jair Alexander's better than Marlon Humphrey.
I still stand by that.
We know what happened. We let the people decide.
Oh yeah, that one.
In landslide victory, like I knew it would be.
It's all good. Ravens, like I said in the podcast, I said, "Oh man, don't do it," because I said once Ingraven see the poll, he gonna retweet it. It's gonna be over.
Oh wait a minute, because you had some hitters retweet too, so look, we're not gonna do that. But we know what happened, and then when you started talking slick about them numbers, one of our hitters showed up with them numbers.
I ain't looking up.
You sure did.
That could have been Twitter numbers.
That didn't go too well either.
Them could have been some Twitter numbers. I ain't researched.
them numbers was like, ooh.
Sound like somebody getting tested a lot.
Pull my bum, ref.
Somebody getting
tested a lot over there. I don't know.
Oh man. But for the question of last weekend, and that's gonna be it. We did what signing means more. Kelsey versus Kittle. The fans voted about 73% said Travis Kelsey contract was more to their team than Travis Kelsey. I guess the question of this week will be what team I think Earl Thomas is going to go to. I put that poll up. I'll put it between the 49ers, the Cowboys.
Is Earl Thomas Ed Reed?
Yikes.
Nah, you already knew what was going to happen. You asking.
Nah, they gonna fry picture internet. He put that up.
You asking for people to talk to you.
Hey, look, all I said was he had similar characteristics to Ed Reed. I stand by it. I will stand on this hill, and I'm starting the Earl Thomas in New England Patriots trail. When that signing happened, I want the same energy.
Bro, ain't nobody don't care.
I want the same energy.
Nobody care about the Patriots no more, man.
I don't know why you want the same injury because you just said y'all wanted to go 2-14 without Cam.
And then we got Cam, and I'm like, well, we gonna try to win. You might as well try to win the Super Bowl. We got an MVP now.
Cam
So
gonna uplift y'all, huh?
What team are we even putting Patriot down for? Because first he was the great Buckaroo, then he was the great Cardinal again, then he was the great LSU player all time. Then he was back to the great Patriot. Where we
Funny,
putting
man.
him
People
down?
starting to catch on, Patriot.
Ain't no catching on, man. You know what I'm
The
saying?
jig is up, brother.
Hey, shout out to
Patriot
hey,
Bucko.
He was the great Penn State, and he was rocking with New York.
The jig
New
is
York.
up.
New York, wait, huh?
Saquon.
Oh. I was confused. I was really confused. I was like, wait, huh?
The great calf muscle.
The great cat. Hey, man, shout out to my boy Nick Lever and Brian Smith from North Carolina State University in Tampa Bay. I see y'all down there, man. Keep it up. I see y'all down there, though.
Oh, he got somebody everywhere.
Mhm.
Hey, man, when you making these connections, man, you know what I'm saying? Hold on. Y'all talking about me before we end this show. Y'all better get on Sel talking about him like a rival. That's
Oh
what-
yeah!
Oh, man.
Yeah! Bring step to the front.
Fly, Eagles, fly.
And I'm ill. Don't make me throw a
Big green.
podcast.
Man, yeah,
Bro,
y'all
hey,
gonna try to put me. Y'all gonna try to roast me at the cafeteria table. This
Hey.
ain't gonna happen. I'm somebody going
Hey.
down with me.
Bold statement. Jalen Reagor will be the best wide receiver out of the draft.
We got
Yeah,
this.
you're right, because you know CD Lamb ain't getting it because all y'all do is get a ball to Zeke.
That's right. You do got a rookie receiver.
Dang, and all Phillip
ain't
Rivers
even
was given to the
picking him.
defense.
That
We'll
is
see.
insane.
Like I just said, you just lucky. You just like the Cowboys ain't play the coach.
Slip that under the rug. Sel, you said
What you say,
Raiders gonna be the best wide receiver in that draft class?
Over
Yes,
the guy
sir.
they have.
Over the guy y'all drafted?
CeeDee Lamb will be a
Hate
close
to see
second.
it.
Oh
man.
my God!
But
This
I
is
think
about the
Rager
greatest
went
thing
to.
I
I
ever
think Rager went to the best system fit for him.
How? He ain't got no
Wait,
quarterback.
why are we trying to act like the Cowboys didn't throw for almost 5,000 yards?
Yeah, but how many receivers did we have over 1,000 yards? One.
Sel turned to
It
a
was-
Yeah, got a point there, probably.
Nah, I'll just cheer for my high
You know he
school
messing
teammate, man.
Oh, man. And he a division rival, not just in the division.
That's the tough part, cause I'm like, bro, I want him to go crazy.
I ain't
And it's like,
never
bro,
seen nothing like this in
You
my
know
life.
what? Then you better watch the game by yourself.
Well, we about to go ahead. We're gonna wrap this up, man. We can continue this conversation afterwards. But I do appreciate everybody coming through, man. Sel coming through, the homie IngravenVids coming through. Like I said, I'll definitely keep everybody's stuff, everybody's channels, all that good stuff in the description below, man. Like I said, do appreciate him coming through as well. We had ourselves a little Ravens intervention during this, but hey, it's cool. You know what I'm saying? It be like that. Y'all got anything else to say before we get up out of here?
I appreciate you having us on, man.
Oh yeah, always,
same, man.
always.
Pay that boy Dak from Lamar Jackson.
I ain't worried about that.
Hold on, okay. I do got something serious. Ron Rivera, hope you got a speedy recovery, man.
Oh, yeah.
With all that, yeah, man. Hope you get a speedy recovery with that.
Prayers up.
Cancer.
For sure.
Prayers up for him and Jacob Blake's family too. Everybody else. So.
That being said, we out here. We'll catch y'all next week. We out.